journey ahead.
What is good, YouTube? Warstu here with another video on God of War PS5. As we know, God of War PlayStation 5 is just around the corner. We know it's coming. Yes, I know at the first PlayStation event they did not reveal God of War PS5, but did you really think they were going to reveal Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Horizon Frozen West, Horizon Zero Dawn 2, and the pinnacle of PlayStation, which is God of War? So we know it's coming with all the latest job listings from Santa Monica Studios and comments from the director about what's popping and what's happening next game. We know it's coming. So I came across these images of an older Atreus, and I honestly thought it was real. So I went to the art director, Rafa. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce his last name, and I think he does speak Brazilian. So I initially thought it was from him, couldn't find any artwork on him, but after doing some digging and realizing it tells you who it's from Andrea Sick. I think that's how you pronounce it. His Instagram and his art station will be linked down below, but it's freaking insane. I picked it up on IGN and initially thought it was real. It's concept art of how Atreus will look in the next game. But what is interesting is this looks so damn good that Santa Monica Studios should hire him. They've even put the Amiga logo from God of War, not to be confused with the one from Darkseid in DC. And there is some Easter eggs from this image here. It has ties back to his mother because Atreus is essentially Loki. But these images are freaking insane. I mean, let's just take a look at them. Look at the attention to detail. We know Atreus is going to be older in the next game. Obviously, because the word Fimbulwinter is coming, Ragnarok is coming. And before you guys start crying down below that I'm saying Ragnarok wrong, I'm from England, I pronounce it the English way, Ragnarok is coming. So, deal with it. So, it's interesting. Right there, you see the Amiga logo, and then you got the F there, which I presume is for his mother. So, I just wanted to share this before we go down why and when PlayStation 5 God of War is coming, because it's very interesting. And it fooled me. I honestly thought this was real conceptual art from the game because it looks so damn good. It's on like Boss Logic's level, if not better. It's so freaking cool. Because we don't know what's really going on with Loki, aka Atreus, because there's been this ongoing theory in the community of video game of who actually blew the horn. You remember the part in the game when the horn was blue? Who actually did it? So I will leave this link to the Reddit post down below. It's quite old, but it says it can't be Thor, can't be Balder, can't be Odin. Who might it have been? I know that we can all speculate, but my guess leads to Atreus. Maybe it's how writers want us to think. But it does make sense, right? And then it lists why it could potentially be him. And it says he knows the ancient tongue by the end of the game. His true talent only became awakened right at the end of the game. How proficient it would be with time. He will freely speak all the languages. There's no coincidence he arrived after he was sick and dying in his timeline. We don't know all parts of the puzzle at the moment, so this is a critical clue. And I think this will be a founding part of the story going forward, because the story is just as much about Atreus as it is about Kratos. So it is very interesting. After all, he is Loki. He has essentially got the connection to two giants, father and son, mature despite everything. So it is interesting. I'm not going to read it all along because this section of the video will be insane. So let me know down below, guys, what you think of these conceptual art from this Brazilian artist. Absolutely freaking insane. Now, let's go over information about when God of War PS5 is coming and all the information about God of War PS5 that we actually have at the moment. So, God of War PS4 was kind of a soft reboot. It was the strongest God of War entry into the franchise that every PlayStation player must play to experience great games. So, we know this game is officially in the works. God of War, and more specifically, Sony Santa Monica Studios, Kim Newton, back in January early this year. Feels good to be back in the motion capture suit, and that sent the internet into a frenzy that God of War PS5 is in the works. Now, the ending of God of War PS4 2018 was absolutely savage. It set up everything to the point where everyone seems to think God of War PS5 is going to be Ragnarok. I don't think it is personally. I think we're going to get another game before we get there. So what happens? So the first sign of Ragnarok is the death of Balder. In Norse lore, he was deceived by the evil Loki, killed Balder by hurling mistletoe, the only thing that could kill him. The second sign will be the long cold winter, aka Fimbulwinter, which was foreshadowed even in Balder's death with snowflakes going on his face and him saying snow. So Fimbulwinter is a harsh winter that precedes the end of the world, of the apocalypse, and puts an end to all life on Earth. Fimbulwinter is essentially 3 successful winters when snow comes from all directions without any intervention from the summer at all, and then it's ended with a crazy ass war. Brock later confirms it when he starts saying Fimbulwinter is here, 3 endless winters, aka 3 years with no summer. We all know Atreus is going to be an adult when he comes back. The 2 wolves in the sky swallowing the sun and the moon. The stars will go dark. The 3 roosters will roar. Heimdall will blow his horn, the first sign, which could bring back all the dead gods, including Balder in the final battle. All the Valkyries, they could all be brought back in Ragnarok. Go on, guys, say down below how I'm saying it right, because you know I am. So this is a big theory here, and it's not been confirmed. The world serpent in our time from the future after the battle with Thor, this world serpent could actually be Kratos. Some very compelling theories suggest this. In this lore, the world serpent remembers Loki, which suggests they are related in some way, like in actual Norse mythology. Fimbulwinter has come thanks to Balder's death. The only question now is how will Skull and Hattie come to be? Perhaps this is who the wolves are walking beside Loki on the memorial. Perhaps Santa Monica Studios is setting this up in such an epic way to introduce Fenrir, who is very, very important to Norse mythology. Essentially, it is foreshadowed and foretold he will kill Odin during Ragnarok, but will indeed turn to be killed by Odin's son, which is very interesting. Obviously, we are talking about a wolf that in Norse mythology, it is foreshadowed that he will kill Odin. But some people seem to think this character has already been revealed and foreshadowed inside God of War PS4 already. So I will leave the link down below to this YouTuber, but YouTuber Captain Cuba, I believe that's how you say his name. He says there's a Fenrir statue in the belly of the serpent already. Now, I kind of agree with it, but it is very hard to see. So make sure to go and check out that YouTube video. I will leave the link down below. Very interesting theory, but as Fenrir is very important to Ragnarok, we know he's going to show up at some point. Maybe not in God of War PS5, but somewhere down the road, we know it will. So make sure to check out that theory. It's a pretty darn cool theory. Will Fenrir appear in the next God of War game? It's pretty certain. I do agree with theory, so make sure to go and give him some love. So God of War PS5 is coming. There is so much evidence, and I would not be surprised if it was revealed at the last PlayStation 5 event before the PlayStation 5 is revealed, rumoredly in November. And no, guys, it's not going to be £450 UK or $350 for the digital edition. That is just ridiculous. It's not going to be that cheap. So what actual evidence is there that this is coming? So there was job listings posted on Santa Monica Studios website. Applications for senior combat designer must have knowledge of God of War 2018 and also be able to speak in depth about the combat system, mechanics, and enemies. Do we need any more evidence? Okay, another job for a facial blend shape character artist also mentions next-gen video game platform experience for the role, something that should whittle down the prospective applicants to relatively few animators given the next generation of consoles have yet to launch. The waters are muddled slightly with a senior gameplay animated poster which is asking for someone to help us push the boundary of actions and combat movements, set the bar for gameplay feel on the PS4. So it's pretty unobvious, guys, that they are working the game. They just haven't officially revealed it. Just like I said, Horizon Zero Dawn 2 was coming and it was revealed at the first event. Also, back in April 2019, God of War PS4 celebrated at the anniversary of the God of War. They celebrated in-game. The theme showed Kratos and Atreus rowing. However, the theme contained a secret message discovered by an eagle-eyed Redditor, and it was pretty obvious. The boat the pair are rowing in ruins has echoed on the side, which translates to Ragnarok is coming. Could this be hinting at God of War sequel being a focus of Ragnarok? Essentially, the Norse mythology features a version of the apocalypse. Maybe, we don't know. And the fact that God of War director Corey has said that originally there were plans for DLC for the 2018 reboot, but they said it would halt from being too ambiguous, too ambitious. That means the studio can invest resources into an entirely new game opposed to a post-launch content, which it's going to be ridiculous. This game is going to be so freaking ridiculous with the amount of theories that people are making about what is going to happen during Fimbulwinter. So at the end of the game, we find out that Kratos' wife and the mother of Atreus was actually Freya, who was actually a giant. She was actually a giant king. Well, she wasn't actually. This means Atreus essentially is half god, half giant. What more? He has a different name altogether. Loki, you know Loki, the trickster of Norse mythology. Hopefully God of War 2 will explore this further. As we said, it's looking like Atreus is going to actually set up a Ragnarok itself. Freya's secret past as well, why she kept it all secret in the first place, will hopefully come up. We're also hoping Atreus will embrace the shape-shifting ability that Loki Notorious has. For instance, of simple standing on the sidelines, firing arrows at the enemies. Atreus isn't a boy anymore. So what is Kratos going to say? You remember the famous line? Boy, 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 boy. Literally, he was saying boy every 10 seconds. So what's he going to say here? He can't. So that's why we showed the artwork for Atreus looking older, because he's going to be somewhere around equivalent of a teenager. So you would have seen the artwork in the thumbnail. It looks freaking fantastic. So next generation seems very likely stage for the potential God of War sequel to come to the PS5, and they've already got a trailer. I know it's coming. It's coming before the PlayStation 5. This is the second or third video we've made of God of War. There's so much evidence out there. The fact that Santa Monica Studios were very active during the PlayStation event, almost like Corey and the team at Santa Monica Studios are teasing, are winking at us from behind the camera. There's so much to divulge and discover about what is God of War PS5. There's so many clues being put around the game. People are still finding new Easter eggs in the game, or potentially setting up the next game. You know, when people keep doing Easter egg videos for all the Marvel movies, just like God of War, what are the developers telling us? They're telling us a lot, but these job listings for the senior animator, combat designer, facial blender, character artists, it could suggest a lot of things. As I mentioned in a previous video, Corey has made no secrets of the plan to keep working on the God of War series with 5 games planned out, and has suggested a future installment could explore Kratos' meeting with his wife Freya, whose funeral is set in motion, sets the chains for God of War. I don't know how we're going to tell this or when we're going to tell this, but I really want to tell the story of Kratos meeting Freya. That's going to be pretty cool. It really is going to be pretty cool. So what are we saying? The game is already made. It's pretty much done. I'm expecting a 2021, maybe 2022 at latest. But if they can get Horizon Zero Dawn 2 out in 2021 like they're saying, then God of War have had just as much time to work on their game. So like always, guys, please like, subscribe, and comment to stay up to date with all the latest DC, Marvel, pop culture, video game news. If you could check us out on Twitter at WarstuGG. I don't really use Twitter, but I guess I might as well plug it. Instagram at Warstu, and twitch.tv/Warstu. That would be great. And I will catch you in another video very soon. Catch you later.